BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
New data reveals a dramatic surge in the United Kingdom's plastic waste exports to developing nations, with figures showing an alarming 84% increase in the first half of this year compared to the same period last year. This substantial rise, primarily directed towards countries like Malaysia and Indonesia, has drawn sharp criticism from campaigners who decry the practice as unethical and irresponsible waste imperialism. The analysis, conducted for The Guardian, highlights a concerning trend as the European Union moves towards implementing a ban on waste exports to poorer nations outside the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, a ban slated to take effect in November 2026. Notably, the UK currently lacks a comparable prohibition. The data, meticulously compiled by the Last Beach Cleanup, a US-based organization dedicated to combating plastic pollution, paints a stark picture. In the first half of 2025, UK exports to Indonesia saw a monumental jump, reaching 24,006 tons, a significant leap from just 525 tons in 2024. Malaysia also experienced a considerable increase, importing 28,667 tons of UK plastic waste in early 2025, up from 18,872 tons in the previous year. These figures contribute to a persistently high volume of total plastic waste exports from the UK, with 319,407 tons exported in the first half of 2024 and 317,647 tons in the first half of 2025. Crucially, the proportion of UK plastic waste being sent directly to non-OECD countries has climbed to 20% of total exports in 2025, a marked increase from 11% in 2024. Jan Dell of the Last Beach Cleanup voiced strong accusations of hypocrisy against UK ministers, pointing out the disconnect between public commitments and current actions. The UK is hypocritically saying, "We're part of the High Ambition Coalition," at the plastics talks, Dell stated. But behind the scenes, it is refusing to set a date to stop exporting to poorer countries. We see it as increasing exports of its own plastic waste to places like Malaysia and Indonesia. She further emphasized the ethical implications, describing the situation as unethical and irresponsible waste imperialism. This comes in the wake of the collapse of UN plastic treaty talks in August, during which Emma Hardy, Under-Secretary of State at the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, expressed disappointment at the lack of an agreement but highlighted the UK's commitment to an ambitious treaty, particularly advocating for binding obligations on reducing plastic production and consumption. Campaigners are now urging the UK, recognized as one of the top 3 plastic waste exporting nations shipping approximately 600,000 tons annually, to follow the EU's lead and implement a ban on exports to non-OECD countries. They also seek to close a loophole that makes exporting plastic waste more economically attractive than recycling it domestically. While the Conservative government indicated an intention to ban exports to non-OECD countries in 2023, this measure has yet to materialize. Wong Pui, a Malaysia-based consultant with the Basel Action Network, an organization dedicated to global environmental health and justice, sheds light on the dynamics of the waste trade. She explains that many waste traders seek to minimize costs, and in developing countries with weaker environmental laws and enforcement, avoiding environmental controls becomes a facile method for achieving this. This reality often leads to plastic waste falling into the hands of those who prioritize profit over environmental responsibility. Although the UK's plastic waste exports to Malaysia saw a significant drop in July to 2.8%, 1,500 tons, likely due to Malaysia's new import restrictions, the global trade is known to be fluid. Similar to China's experience in 2018 when it tightened import policies, the burden of waste often shifts to other destinations. Experts suggest that the reported increase in UK plastic exports to Asia may actually be an underestimate, as a substantial portion is routed through the Netherlands and other European countries before being re-exported, with Turkey also being a significant destination. James McCleary, managing director of Biffa Polymers, a UK recycling firm, underscores the ethical imperative for the UK to take responsibility for its plastic waste. It is just common sense as a human being, he stated. I don't want my rubbish to end up in Malaysia. I don't want to wonder if there is a boy whose life is wasted somewhere because of me throwing something in a bin outside my house. This sentiment resonates with recent investigations, such as Boy Wasted, which revealed a tragic pattern of deaths occurring monthly in Turkey's recycling sector due to crushing, ripping, or burning incidents over the past decade. Adnan Khan, a Canadian journalist whose